Welcome to the Retro Game Club podcast, Season 8, Episode 6, which is also Episode 217. I am Rob, and joining me is someone who still can't afford a Neo Geo, Zach.
Yeah, the struggle is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's maybe more affordable, but yeah. That's
We'll get into it in the news, right?
Yeah.
But what's been going on?
Oh, busy as usual. Probably spent the most amount of time on Project Hail Mary lately.
How
Both
so?
The movie and the book.
Oh, nice.
My wife and I have both read the book. I read it first, which is unusual. And then I read it again to our older son. And then they made the movie, and we both liked the books. We're like, we got to go see that movie. And it's really good. If you haven't seen it,
I
don't
saw
want
it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm not usually, I don't think this is a spoiler. I'm not usually like a feel good ending kind of guy, but I don't know. It's good. I like it. And plus, I read the book, so I kind of knew what to expect. So,
Yeah.
But anyways, so after we saw it, my older son saw the trailer for it somehow. And he's like, oh, that book we read, they made that into a movie. I want to go see it. And I'm like, okay, let's go do that. And so I took the four of us, we took my younger son too. And I sat next to my younger son who has pretty severe ADHD and mild autism, because I knew he was going to be asking a lot of questions, and I was not wrong. So, but that was a lot of fun to watch that with him. And then now I'm reading the book to him. So I'm on my third go around for the book.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was mostly of interest of what I've been up to. I did have, speaking of my younger son, I did run into a problem recently where, what was it that he wanted to download? Oh, he started a coding class with Minecraft, and he was very excited about it, which is great. And he wanted to get the Minecraft education version, because I guess that's what you need to do the coding. I'm like, awesome, let's do that. I'd picked him up from school. We were talking about it, do a quick search. I'm like, yeah, it looks like you can get it on your iPad. I will help you with that later. I drop him off at home. I go to pick up my other son at middle school. And when I get there, I get a message saying that my Apple password had been reset. And
no.
And it's like, if you didn't do this, you need to shut down your account or whatever. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, what is going on? It's like, is this a scam? And I'm like, trying to make sure. I'm like, this looks legit. I'm like, oh, I know what's going on. And what happened was, it's my own fault. When I set up my younger son's iPad, I had just signed in to the App Store with my credentials. And then I turned on all the parental controls to stop him from being able to use it. And then over the years, I've lessened the parental controls to the point where I think I turned them off entirely, because it was just getting to be too much hassle to have to authorize everything or whatever, forgetting the fact that I was signed in on my account on there. But he doesn't know the password, and he was just trying to brute force do it. And I guess he clicked on forgot password or something like that. Anyways, I'm locked out of that for days.
Oh God.
Until just trying to do the password recovery thing. And then I keep getting emails saying in a couple of days, we'll let you know when you can reset your password. I'm like, okay. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then I went to buy a movie, and it's like, you need to sign in, but it was something about needing to sign in. And I was like, oh no. And then it's like, now you can reset your password. I was like, okay, I just needed to have to buy something. I don't know. So that was weird. A little bit of a hassle.
At least you got past it though.
Yeah. What's been going on with you?
Let's see. I saw the Mario Galaxy movie. Did you guys see that one?
No, I did not. I would take my kids to see it though.
It's a Mario Galaxy movie. Okay. That's my review. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing right with it. It's
as advertised.
Yeah, it is exactly as advertised, and you can eat popcorn and watch it. Lots of bright colors and nostalgia, kind of. It's nostalgia, but it looks totally different. It's not like you're playing the game, and so it's fine. I'm not ripping on it at all. because you know what you're getting into, you know, much like another news item later. I got the Mr. Multi-System 2 finally delivered and set up. So that is a consoleized Mr. FPGA that has built-in snack ports that, here, I'll grab one here so our listeners can see. It is like, it pops in the top like a cartridge, and it is a 3D printed port for, you know, PlayStation, Saturn, NES, anything you could think of. And you use a snack, which is really fast USB, so you get that zero latency all around.
I was going to ask if that's 3D printed, because it looks 3D printed. That they must not sell a lot of those.
They sell a ton of them, and that's why it's so annoying. Because the case is also 3D printed. The whole thing's 3D printed, but the board is, you know, mass produced. So they always do them in order bulks, you know what I mean? And then you wait 3 months for it. It's so annoying.
It takes a while to 3D print stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why they do it this way, but hey, I got mine, so I don't care. But I got it all set up, and I think I got it working good. And I played at least one of our game club games on it, and a future one as well. So it's working great. I'm liking it. It simplifies Mr. FPGA stuff. So I definitely recommend it. It's good company. It's good value. And what else? Oh, while setting up my Mr. FPGA, I finally opened my TurboGrafx 16 8-bit DOE wireless controller that I got so long ago, I think 6 or 7 years ago. And it is a fantastic controller, but I wanted to update the firmware and stuff, so I was working with their support because it just wasn't working. And I discovered that they really dropped the ball on the turbo button. For people that don't play TurboGrafx 16, the 1, 2, or 3 settings for the turbo are very important. And if they are off at all, you could definitely feel it. And because, these programmers are coding to it, they want you to use the turbo buttons.
Yeah, because it's built into the controller.
And so,
the regular controller.
The controller has buttons. Again, I'm holding this up for our listeners to see.
Yes.
So you could hit the bottom one button, and it's just like a single tap, or you could hold down the top one button, and it is a turbo. And it only has 2 modes, I think. You get the 2 dots mode or the 1 dot mode, and no one uses any of those modes ever. You always use the 3 dots mode, which is the fastest turbo. And so on this 8-bit DOE, it does 196 presses per 20 seconds. It's 9.8 per second. But on the actual controller, it does 297 per 20 seconds. So 14.85 presses per second.
That's a big difference.
It's totally a big difference. So
I'm sorry. Did you time this and count, or?
Oh no! Other nerds did this for me.
Okay.
And so I put in, a request to them, like, please, can you just talk to your engineering team? Like I said exactly what I said to you guys. Like, other people have done the work for you. Just copy and paste this math. And I'm sure it's way more difficult than that, or there's some like USB timing thing that they don't want to do. I don't know, but it's very upsetting. I'll still use it a lot because you don't need turbo in every game, but still.
I'm curious as to where those numbers came from too, because I'm looking at what you put here in the notes, and you said that the wired does 197 versus 196 for the wireless. In 20 seconds. And I'm wondering how many times they measured that.
Exactly. Like if that was just a one-off.
Like is that a significant difference or not?
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, pretty strange. And again, this is like 6-year-old news, but still it's affecting me now. And they still sell it. They sell them all the time. You could buy them new. So it's something they should fix.
Yeah, I mean, 8-bit DOE's got a pretty good reputation as far as I know.
Yeah.
I've got a few of their things that seem to work fine, but I don't rely on a turbo button. Certainly not one that does 297 presses in 30 seconds,
Yeah,
20 seconds.
And then my last thing is I kind of helped price charting fix a bug. So I was going through and updating wish list stuff, as you do. And I went through like 2 pages, well, 2 platforms, like I think like the original Xbox and maybe PlayStation. I forget which other one. And I went back to see about a certain game, and all those wish lists were gone. So I was like, what the heck? So I loaded, just Chrome's developer tools, and I pressed the wish list button, and I saw an error happen. And it only happens on certain games on certain pages. And so I messaged their support and gave them the report and then helped them test it. And they did it pretty quick. The guy was I'm sure it's like a one-man show over there, but the guy was on vacation and he still fixed it for me. So that was pretty good experience for, a lot of people claim that price charting, pushes up game prices. So love or hate the site. At least it's good support, right?
Right. Yeah. That dude's on vacation. He's still helping out.
Exactly.
Kind of hard to beat.
Yeah. Well, if there's nothing else you want to jump into, we got a bunch of news this week.
Yeah. Let's do it.
You did not post the first one. I guess that was Hugh, right?
Oh yeah. This is one where I got confused last week because something happened. Oh, I think the link that he sent linked to a specific article that was like 35 down the list from the top. And then I don't know why anybody would make anything link that way. I'm not blaming Hugh on this, but like the link was weird. And by the time we got to it, it was a totally different story, which might've been the one that we talked about.
I think we did talk about that other story. Yeah.
So I went back and found this story, which the title which is the Super Nintendo Super Dragon's Lair arcade. He says that he doesn't know if he's ever seen an article that better fit the theme for the Retro Game Club podcast. He said that you have to build the ROM yourself, but it looks worth the effort. I did check the link, and for me, the important part was that they had a video with a demonstration of it, which I always appreciate. And if I didn't read the blurb, I would have guessed that it was a Raspberry Pi in the cartridge, just piping video output to the Super Nintendo PPU, but that's not what's going on here. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's that MSU1 technology. Space age technology.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? An unreleased prototype of Punch-Out was purchased and then I think lent to the Video Game History Foundation, which is one of the coolest contributors to retro gaming. And they do a great article about it and video about it, where this was an early prototype where some of the opponents were different. A lot of them only said the same things between matches, and rounds. And it has really cool. I'm obsessed with this artwork on it of Glass Joe.
Yeah.
And it just kind of shows how they stepped into one of the best Nintendo games ever. Really cool piece of history.
Yeah, I took a look at that, and one of the characters was Piston Hurricane, but there was a Piston Honda, was there not?
Yeah, they changed a lot of their names, yeah.
But it's not. I don't think it's the same character, though. I don't know. I was a little confused on that.
I know it's been so long since we recorded that I watched this like the day after we recorded last, and I can't remember all the details. But
right.
I do remember, a lot of them didn't have sound and stuff like that. So very cool. Check out this video. Check out any Video Game History Foundation video. They're all so good. It's like my dream job. It's what I want to be when I grow up. A fun one, which, if I was a retired person, this would be the kind of project I would do. The Nintendo Wii now runs Mac OS X Cheetah, which was the original Mac OS.
I got to call you out.
Mac OS 10. Yeah, I know. But I always say OS X until they removed it.
This is a cool news article, though, and I do still have my Wii. I wish I had time to check this out, but Cheetah was 10.0, right?
Yeah, I was on it. I was on since the beta. I was all in on it.
Oh, wow. Good for you. I think I started on it with 10.1, or it might have been 10.0, because I guess I assumed 10.0 was the beta, but maybe it was 10.0. But I bought the Ice book, the what was it called? The iBook G4 in white, and it came with OS 9 and OS 10 on it, and whatever versions those were. I mean, it was 9.2.2, I'm pretty sure, and it was either 10.0 or 10.1. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna start messing around with OS 10. Let's see what that's like, and I was blown away. It was pretty incredible. So I'd like to see how it runs on the Wii.
You should. Oh, please, I would be amazed if you did that. That'd be like the coolest project. And you get nothing out of it, right? It's just a cool project.
Not at all. Do I have to hack my Wii? Probably.
I had one of the scariest professional IT moments with, it was probably 10.3 at this point, but I was running the studio in Detroit, the music studio, and we had a artist who hired a very famous producer to help her record this album that they co-wrote. She just wanted it. She hired him to co-wrote and produce it. And it was all on this external SCSI drive. And one night I decided to update, because the latest version of Pro Tools came out that supported OS 10. And I was like, this is so much more efficient. We really should do this. We'll get more tracks out of it. And, you can't lose.
Yeah.
And I updated, I rebooted, and all of her files were gone and not backed up in a week. And that was after like $50,000 of spending of studio time. Luckily, I was already a IREX and Linux person. And so after freaking out, I talked myself down. I was alone in the studio. And I remembered that she always wanted hers at the top so she could find them quickly. So she put a dot before the folder. So, yeah.
I didn't realize that was not introduced until later, the hiding files.
Well, that's like Unix core stuff. That's like 70s stuff. But,
right.
But moving from non-Unix to Unix on the Mac made that happen. And oh my God, I was scared.
That's funny. Oh, yeah, that's an important observation.
Because, what I did is I removed the SCSI drive first. I was like, what can happen? You know what I mean? If
right.
the computer doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I don't need to back this up again because it's on this drive that's not connected to it. And you connect it to it and it's not there. You're like, oh God.
But when it went to browse it, they were hidden still.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good story. I like that.
I got a few like that. I've done some dumb stuff in my life.
It worked out okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I had that experience. And another very cool, I think this is my favorite article of the episode. Majora's Mask, my least favorite 3D Zelda, just got a native PlayStation Vita port. And I love the Vita. I feel like it's an amazing console. It just looks great. It feels great to hold and play. And this port looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good. And I don't know, man. I feel like they're going to get a takedown. I know, like, it says that what did they do? They like disassembled the code and then reassembled it in C or whatever. So it's totally legal or something. I was like, but I don't know. Where'd you get the assets from? I don't know. I just feel like you're always dancing with the devil when you're messing with
100%,
Nintendo stuff. But
in fact,
yeah, I don't.
Let's click on it now.
See if it's still there.
Let's see if it's still there. And I just got a forbidden.
Oh.
You don't have permission. Take down.
Got tooken down. Man. But yeah, I'm with you on the least favorite 3D Zelda game there. Even less favorite than Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild for me. I never finished Majora's Mask. I just don't. I don't like the timing of it. It's too much stress all the time.
Yep.
You know, I've seen the ending. It looks cool, but that's not.
Yeah, I don't like being timed in Zelda games. I just like to hang out in Hyrule.
Right, and like it's fine here and there. You know, you got to count down, escape, whatever. That's fine, but I don't want the entire game to be. You have this much time to get as much done as possible. That's not my style of game.
Yeah, yeah. The next one is yours, I think.
It is. I wish I had realized that before I took a big sip of.
I timed that perfect.
Sparkling water here. Yes, the Street Fighter official movie trailer, or the Street Fighter movie official trailer. I had no interest in even watching the trailer, and like everybody was talking about it today. And then Will, friend of the show, French Pet Will, but like he then chimed in. We have a signal chat going, and said that it was really good. I was like, you know what, it might be something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna check it out, and I regret to inform you that I think it looks really good. It looks really entertaining. I don't know, they got the balance right where you can't do it in a believable manner, but they've seemed to have balanced it based on the trailer. They seem to have balanced it right. It's a little bit goofy.
A little bit goofy. They went full goofy, which I think they should have.
See, I don't think it's full goofy. I think they could have made it so much more ridiculous. But they had the car smashing thing in there. I like Eric Andre. He's in there as some kind of announcer. And did I mention how I saw David Desmalchian, who plays M. Bison? I saw him at the Nine Inch Nails show.
I don't remember you mentioning that. No.
Okay, I forget where. I might have said that somewhere else, but yeah. So I saw him when I showed up at the show. I was looking for my seat, and he comes walking out with a few other people, and I was just like, "Hey," because I recognized him, and I just couldn't put a thought together for a second. He just kind of side-eyed me, but I saw him post later on that like pictures from the show, so it was definitely him. But I like him; he's good. I think he'll do a good job as M. Bison. So I think this looks great.
Okay, I'm gonna see it. It'll be fun. Again, something to eat popcorn and watch and have a good time. And don't get too judgy over, because it is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. My comments are 50 Cent is 50 this year. I just feel like his character's background, like, is he supposed to be an older guy? Because some of them are like coming back to like redeem themselves, right? And some of them are younger fighters. So like, is he supposed to be a 50-year-old boxer? Like, I don't know. And then and again, I don't care either way. And
I was going to say, you were just saying that you don't care, and now you're...
Yeah. That's just, talking. But they better come out with Street Fighter, the movie, the video game too.
And they got to put Hugues in the pit.
Yes, again, yes. So those are my comments on that one. But yeah, looks fun.
Okay, the next one is also me. This one dropped today. A $250 Neo Geo Plus AES aims to be a 1-to-1 replica of SNK's classic console. So I mostly added this because I figured you were going to buy it.
Bought it. I pre-ordered it.
Perfect. It's at $250 for the base console plus the memory card and a wired arcade stick. You get the standard black, or there's an ice white special edition for $50 more, but that also comes with a wireless arcade stick and the Metal Slug cartridge that's also white. Mm-hmm. It actually plays AES carts, like the old ones and these new ones that they're re-releasing. So they got 10 games that they're going to re-release, including Metal Slug, King of Fighters, Neo Turf Masters, what else stood out? Oh, Twinkle Star Sprites, Magician Lord, a few others. And then you can get a wireless arcade stick. There's also a wireless gamepad. And then I did put this in my shopping cart. And then I can't do it because I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it one day and it's just going to sit there and collect dust. So the Ultimate Edition, you get the black console black console with wired arcade stick and a memory card. You get an additional wireless arcade stick, wireless gamepad, and all 10 of the re-released carts with a game rack for that.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it looks pretty good. It looks cool.
It looks sweet. And I hope they keep coming out with the 10 packs of Neo Geo game carts.
That would be smart. Yeah. So it's you can pre-order now, and Rob will get his November 12th.
Yeah. Well, they don't ship to Australia, so it is being shipped to friend of the show,
nice.
Jordan.
Yep.
I really appreciate his pirate ship account. It has helped me a lot.
I need to look into that.
Yep. Anyone listening, go into our Discord and ask about it. Jordan will tell you all about it. Yeah, this looks fantastic. It does not use emulation, not even FPGA.
No, importantly, yeah.
They created new, whatever the chips were.
That's really cool.
You can, the dip switches are at the bottom, so it makes it easier to switch different modes. And you can also soft change the BIOS, so you can switch regions and stuff.
Where were the dip switches on the original console?
To tell you the truth, I have an original, and I've never seen dip switches, so I want to say inside.
Probably, yeah.
But I'm also sure friend of the show, Majors, can chime in on this. I think he has a bit more knowledge than on Neo Geo than I do. I think another great thing about this is the wireless gamepad and stick. I think that's a thing that hopefully it could just connect Bluetooth to anything, because those are both great products.
It looks like it has a receiver that plugs into the
Neo Geo.
Where you normally plug in the port. You can see it in the special edition white one. You can see it plugged in on the on the box for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's not USB.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And maybe it's both. Maybe it's Bluetooth and whatever wireless protocol they went with. So you could use it with other things, but I wouldn't count on it.
I think the one cool thing they could have done with this, I mean, it would have been incredible. It would have been a surprise. I mean, this was a surprise, but I don't know how they would do this since it's not using any emulation, but over the internet gameplay, like play multiplayer King of Fighters with other people. I don't know how they would pull that off, but man, that would have been cool.
Yeah. I mean, some additional hardware and tweaked software. I feel like it would be doable, but
yeah. Very cool news. I woke up to this. This happened, in U.S. during the day U.S. time, so I was sleeping when this happened.
I scrambled to put this in the notes and in the Discord because I wanted.
Yeah,
to be
you
the
messaged
one.
me at like 3 a.m. Like, yes. And then a day before this announcement, there was the Polymega remix, which, if you listen to the show, you probably know Polymega. It's a hardware console like emulation device that has different like bases you put on top of it that give you different retro cart slots or a CD slot to play CD games. So this remix is $282. It gets rid of all the processing. So the actual like base unit that would, do all the emulation is pretty much gone now. You plug this in USB to your computer. It even works with a Steam Deck, and you install an app, and this gives you those cartridge slots and a CD DVD drive, and you can play all of your retro games that way. And I think I saw somewhere that the early reviews of this are pretty good. I could be wrong, but Polymega has a good reputation. But
do they?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I mean, it took them forever. This was initially supposed to be an FPGA device, like the original one, and then they went to straight software emulation after people already paid for it.
That's
But
what I recall.
but I think since then, like it's worked great, and they keep updating it. And now you could buy. They have like their own carts you could buy, or I think they're CDs. So they have like their own Evercade like ecosystem. I just can't support another ecosystem. Like I
Right.
am out of money, and but if I didn't do Evercade, I would probably do this. And yeah, I can't wait to see reviews on it.
So it also says that it's compatible with Intel-based laptops, handheld gaming PCs like the ROG Ally and Lenovo, and thousands of other Windows-based compatible devices, and blah, blah, blah. And it actually looks like somebody, I mean, maybe that's a ROG Ally, but it looks like a Steam Deck to me. So it's still not clear to me what it is.
What do you mean?
So you plug this into a computer, not a TV.
Yes, and then you plug. So you could either plug. Yeah, exactly. And so
Okay.
this allows your computer via the app, which is like the emulation part of it. This allows you to use all your PlayStation or Saturn CDs. It allows you to use, your Super Nintendo or Nintendo or Sega carts, even Nintendo 64, 7800, 32X, and it just works.
I guess I fail to see. It seems like it's just a CD-ROM. Like if the computer is doing the emulation, why do I need this $200 piece of hardware? I know, like it looks like you can plug in Super Nintendo controllers and stuff. I guess that's a nice as an adapter or something. But like this has to be doing a lot of the work too. And maybe does it just stream the video to your computer? I don't know. This is confusing to me.
I think it's the app doing the work. I think it's your computer doing a lot of the work. It may do some of the translation, but it might be a lot of their proprietary, app you download.
So why don't I just emulate straight on my computer? I don't know. I don't.
This,
Sorry, I
this
didn't get a
just
chance
makes
to look at this one.
This just
in
makes it
advance.
more turnkey and allows you into their ecosystem and to use your original carts. That's about it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna look into this more later because I am confused and intrigued.
Yeah, I can't wait to see full videos of this. So it is a very niche and interesting product. And that is our news. I liked all of those news items this week.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Do you usually not like them all?
No, I usually don't, but I just I go with it because I usually even pick the ones I don't like. Like by the time we start the episode, I'm like, this is old news, but it's a retro show, so
Right. It's always old.
exactly. It's the point. Game Club. So Hugh picked my game this episode because he'll be able to tell his story about it in his email to the podcast. But we went with The Destroyer from Jail. It's an arcade game. I don't think this was ported to anything. I could be wrong. I tried playing it on archive.org. It's from 1991, December 30th, 1991, which is an odd date. Like, why release something the day before New Year's? By a Korean developer called Philco. And they've developed a few other things. Not a lot, but they got a few games under their belt. This is like a belt-scrolling beat-em-up, a lot like Narc. You could jump, you could shoot. There's multiple levels, meaning like platforming, but it's not real platforming. It's kind of like other beat-em-up games where you could just jump up to, a roof of a building in the background. And
a little bit like the one we just played that I picked and didn't like, Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, it does have some of those elements for sure. Yeah, and the AI in this really, really comes at you. I mean, their AI they coded is walk towards user.
Yes. Yeah.
The intro is fantastic. So again, like you can read about what this game is actually about, and what I'm about to say is not far off. It's a little bit off, but again, the game doesn't tell you. This is like you have to read the user manual or something to get this. Anyway, here's the intro. You're this guy in jail, and there's some billionaire that says he wants to run the world, and you put on sunglasses and are like, don't be kidding yourself. And then you go out and you start murdering people with your sunglasses on. So it's actually a pretty topical game. And in it, they speak English. There is some digitized voice, but it is with like some European, maybe Eastern European accent. I couldn't really place the accent, but they're trying to be American. You get a lot of life in this game. It's pretty generous. When you get hit, it doesn't take too much off. The enemies go from like normal goons to midgets on stilts, to football players, to pirates, to robots. I don't know. It's
weird.
Let me rewind that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word midget anymore. I'm sorry if that slip offended anyone, but I think that's literally what they're called in the game. There's some pretty cool bosses, like some hair metal rocker who shoots bullets from his guitar and blows fire on you. There's like a lot of rock and roll or metal references in this game. If I read the room right, the billionaire ended up being a robot. More like Krang. Is that his name from Turtles?
Yeah.
Krang? The brain guy.
And the big fat guy.
Yeah. And he doesn't look like Mecha Hitler, more like the Turtles guy. At the end of the game, the president or some other crusty white dude comes and thanks you and gives you your freedom. So I guess in this reality, the government like really got sick of billionaires running everything. So there's that.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's not a...
Imagine.
Yeah. So this game is actually a utopia. I would put this a little bit below Bloody Wolf. It's again, not horrible, but it's not good. It's fine.
I think the biggest problem is the AI, as you say, because it's just like, it just locks onto you and doesn't let up. And it's really hard to hit any enemy without being directly in line with them so that they can hit you.
Exactly. Yeah. That is the biggest problem with this game. Like the graphics are good. The sound isn't bad. Playing it on archive.org was difficult for me because I was on a Mac. When you hit some of the combos, the Mac wanted to go to the desktop or just do something not in Chrome.
Oh, you didn't use it with a gamepad? You were doing it with
No,
keyboard?
I had so much going on at work and stuff that I just didn't have to. I actually don't have a gamepad set up to this Mac, so.
Yeah, it's like impossible because you always have to hit like control and then one of the arrows and then it's like switches spaces and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. What was your take on this one?
Well, first, speaking of playing it on archive.org, I don't know if it's something with a newer version of Mac OS or some change to archive.org, but I found lately that I have to like remap the controls to the gamepad. And every time I try to play something, like I go in, I look at the controls, it looks right, but it doesn't work unless I remap them. So it's weird. But it still works, hey, free game.
Yeah.
I would not have been able to play otherwise. I will say also that the preferred term is little person, but I personally am not going to cancel you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just don't I've never had to speak about that demographic. So it's like the first time it's come into my life.
And if they're calling it that in the game, that's...
Yeah, a snapshot in history. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You're explaining the game. First thing I noticed was that it's kind of slow. It's a bit of a slog, and you get the slowdown too from too many sprites on screen. So that kind of makes it feel slow as well. You can't move and shoot, right? Like I couldn't figure out a way. Anytime I was shooting, I wouldn't move. So I was like, what is this, Resident Evil?
I couldn't because it would go to my Mac's desktop.
Of course. Right. Yeah. I thought it was nice that you could continue in place. So if you really wanted to, you could pay your way through or, press, I think the 1 key or the 5 key is the extra credits. You could just brute force your way through this game if you wanted. And I did that for one level. And then I was like, that's enough. I did see the law deal sign, which I think Majors also has a comment on later. That made me laugh. And then I skimmed along play. And the bosses get real weird, as you mentioned.
Yeah, yeah. This is a 1/4 game for me. You try it out once.
I don't know, man. I feel like I think I had to continue like 3 or 4 times before I got the feel for what it was. But
And that might even still be the 1/4 thing, where if you're spending real money on it, you'd be like, nope,
right,
I'm done.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, some people write in and talk about this game. You want to move on to yours?
Sure. I picked Little Samson for the NES. It was developed and published by Taito in 1992, which is well after the Super Nintendo was out. So this is a pretty late game, NES, for the NES platform. I would describe it as kind of Mega Man-ish platformer. You have 4 characters, and when you first start up the game, there's 4 practice stages. You can do them in any order. I basically did it from top to bottom because why not? And I was just trying to feel out what I was supposed to be doing here. You have Samson, little Samson, I suppose, a dragon, a golem, and a mouse. And Samson, I found, had a weird wall jump mechanic, kind of a weird jump in general, actually, where I felt like there was a delay. And it wasn't my emulator, I don't think, because the other characters didn't seem to do it. And I've never really had that much trouble with jumping with other games, but it was like he wouldn't jump exactly when I wanted him to. So I always felt like I had to jump sooner than I wanted to. And he throws some projectile. I don't know what it is. I found out accidentally that you can also do a ceiling hang because I jumped up. I was like, oh, hey, now I'm hanging on the ceiling. So he's climbs up walls, hangs on the ceiling. The Dragon Ball, shoots fires that can arc up, and then you can hold down. I didn't even try it on any of the other characters. Maybe I should have, but if you hold down the button, it charges up and you can shoot a bigger fireball.
Yep.
Kind of figured that out on accident, even though at one point you actually have to fight the dragon and he does it then, which I think that's the whole purpose of that fight, is to show you that you can charge up. But I am not sure on that. The story behind this is not the best. You have the golem. He's got a cool punch. It was kind of like Vector Man or a lot of the Contra hardcore enemies where
That's a good
you
call.
have 3 or 4 balls and they kind of like stretch out and back, which I thought was pretty impressive for the NES. You know, I hadn't seen it. I don't think I've seen that done on the NES before. And the last character is the mouse, which I think lays bombs. I don't know. They look like little they look like the energy pellets that Mega Man has, but they explode.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention the golem is very slow, but he's tough and he's strong. The mouse has the least amount of energy, I think, out of all the characters, and he can climb all the way around stuff like the hunchback guy in Castlevania 3. I think his name is Grant. So that's what that reminded me of. Each character has its own health. You can find empty heart containers to increase each character's health, and they're all independent of one another. Of course, you have hearts to regenerate or refill your health, and then a flask I think you just hold on to, and if you use it, then it refills all your energy. So that's your first 4 stages. Once that's done, then the game kind of really starts. I didn't really pick up on the story other than like there's a king and I don't know, he sends you to defeat evil or something. But before that happens, as I mentioned, the dragon suddenly turns on you and you have to fight the dragon as Samson. I didn't try to switch to one of the other 2 characters at that point, but I don't know if you can or not. So I don't know what that was about, but everything's fine after that. You guys team back up and you can just switch characters at will, which is a cool thing to do. It wasn't the first game to do it. Like I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did it before that. And just another one. It's slipping my mind right now, but to make it easy on this one, you just press start, select the one you want, and you switch. So I mostly just played as the dragon and flew through the stage. And when I got to the boss, I just face tanked the boss as the golem, and I got through a bunch of levels that way. And then I stopped and just started skimming along play because I could tell I was not playing this game how it was intended to be played. I wasn't getting the enjoyment out I should have been. There's like a space tunnel level that looks like it's from a shmup. And then at the end of that one, the boss is like this pile of skulls, and that also reminded me of Castlevania 3, the first form of Dracula in that, or the second form, I forget. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's just like this clump of
Yeah.
There's an ice level that also reminds me of Mega Man, and then there's a really impressive dragon boss later on in the game. I'm not sure how they did that one. Again, really good for the NES, but again, a late game. And it looks like it gets pretty hard by the end. There's a bit of an escape sequence, and then in the end, the dragon saves you. So I guess it makes up for that fight that you had earlier. And I think if I had this one as a kid, I would have liked it a lot more. I would have spent a lot of time on it. It's definitely a good game. It's not one that I feel I can fairly judge in the little limited amount of time that I played with it. But pretty good. Definitely not the worst game I've picked for this.
No, yeah. I really like this game. This is the one I was playing on the multi-system on TV. I started playing it on the Pocket, but I'm liking using the TV again. And it's a pretty game. It uses every ounce of the Nintendo. It really does. This game is easy if you just don't worry about the enemies. Just go, like you said, like fly right by them, jump right over them. There's only a few you actually have to attack in each level. I would say other than the Mega Man jump, he has a short jump. It plays a lot like Mega Man 4. Like I find it real tight. I didn't feel it laggy like you said, the jump at all. Or did you just mean the wall jump?
I noticed it on the wall jump at first, and then I realized that when I was trying to like run and jump off the edge of a platform, I would run off the edge of the platform instead of jumping.
Okay.
So I did have it was a little bit of delay. Maybe it was my emulator, but I didn't really notice it anywhere else.
Because I put in here that I love how there's so much animation for every move, but it didn't feel laggy to me.
Right.
And then, my take on this one is like, the reason why this is my take. The reason why people hold this up so high is there are so many bad games on the NES. Don't get me wrong. The NES is probably my favorite console, but there are really, really hundreds of bad games on it. And this is a good game. Is it top 10?
That's fair.
I don't know, but I think it's definitely top 50.
I meant to look into this earlier, but on a quick search, I don't think that it uses any special chips in there to achieve any of the graphical tricks that it does.
That's really cool. It's just smart programming. That is really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say they had the benefit of all the other games before it.
And this, even though this is a Taito game, it's really a Capcom game because the guy from Capcom went over to Taito.
Nice, yeah.
And so it definitely has like a Mega Man, DuckTales kind of feel and look to it.
Yeah.
And what do you wanna play next?
I am going to go something simple and something that I remember from the arcade as a child, and I am going with Moon Patrol. And there's a link to the arcade. It is the Arcade Archive, which is part of the Internet Archive website. But play any version you want. I'm going to probably check out a bunch of different ports because I think that those are interesting for something simple like this where, the gameplay isn't super complicated. I like to compare how each of the ports plays and what do they have to change? Are you going to have music?
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't done this one yet. This is a good one.
I did. I should triple check. I'm pretty sure I checked.
I am going to do Dark Arms on the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Nice. Have we done I don't think we've done a Neo Geo Pocket Color before.
I'm not sure either. I don't think so. Unless Bovine picked one.
He had the color swan. Swan.
Oh, yeah.
What's the thing called? Wonder Swan color.
Yeah. But so if any of our listeners plays Moon Patrol, Dark Arms, Lil Samson, probably not, but Destroyer from Jail, If you have a Polymega and you have comments on it or anything about the Neo Geo AES, Street Fighter the movie, Majora's Mask on the Vita, if you put Mac OS on your Wii, if you find a very expensive Punch-Out prototype, or if you do this Super Nintendo Super Dragon Slayer arcade, please email us. Email at retrogameclub.net. That is email at retrogameclub.net. Or just get in our Discord or our socials. They're all in our link tree in the show notes. And it's been a lot of fun lately, too. A lot of good conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And
so I did just check my local copy of our Game Club list, and I searched Moon, and Moon Patrol came up, and I was like, oh, no. But it's because I put it in already for my
nice.
game.
Cool.
Just that one instance.
Perfect.
So we're good.
Well, Hugh writes in. He was the one that picked Destroy from jail, and he took his first trip to Galloping Ghost. And he does have an article about it you could read on his site. He said it's one of the weirder games he's played. It's an arc with a lot of metal band references. He thinks it falls in the category of so bad it's good. He watched a complete playthrough, and in the late game, you're fighting Frankenstein for some reason.
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty much the game. And for little Samson, he wasn't sure if it was overhyped because it was rare, and he said that's not the case. The intro is one of the best on the NES, and the graphics look amazing for the system. It controls very well, too, like a better Ninja Gaiden. He says...
That's Ninja Gaiden 2.
Yeah, yeah. He says he may stick with it over the next few weeks, and his only complaint is that when you die, you start way back, so there needs to be better checkpoints. And then he also points out from our previous Wind Waker conversation that that game actually has 2 sequels, which I think you went back and corrected. You had some knowledge of that, but I didn't pay any attention to those handheld games.
I mentioned Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, but I think I said I wasn't sure if those were sequels or not. So,
yeah, I actually had no idea, just because that whole part of Zelda is a blind spot for me. And as we always say, you don't come here for the facts.
That's right. So we also got an email from Majors, and he says he was about to yell at clouds while listening when you, Rob, were talking about the controller difference, the port size controller difference for the US and Japan versions of the TurboGrafx 16, the PC Engine and the TurboGrafx 16, on the new Super Multi-System 2 thing that you have. He says that we know that the PC Engine controller port is the same as the revamped Turbo Duo port, so not bespoke. I don't know how I could tell what he's doing here, and I'm trying not to laugh my way through it. So it's not a bespoke PCE controller port, just a smaller DIN versus the original US TurboGrafx 16 port. Rob did come back with a correction when bringing up the controller port converter, so I stopped yelling at the sky. He says, I'm a big fan of the TurboGrafx PC Engine, so it always gathers engagement from him. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If there's ever an episode where he doesn't write in, all we have to do is mention something about TurboGrafx 16, especially if we mention it wrong or say we don't know something.
Yes, it's like putting up the bat signal.
Guarantee we'll get 2 emails maybe the next time. Regarding the moldy or damaged floppy disks from one of the news items we had on archiving disks last time, he says this topic is topical for him because a friend of his recently went down the X68000 rabbit hole and is collecting original discs. He told Majors that he has great success with cleaning and even swapping the magnetic media discs from the 5 1/4 protective sleeves. His friend was impressed how durable the discs are, but we're talking about floppies from the 90s and not the 60s, so maybe he's having better luck because they're newer. Yeah, those I think those ones from that archiving article were quite a bit older, but
that's before they had a bunch of the not a bunch, but before they had the standardization, really, right? So they must have been older. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it could also, I mean, it could be a number of things. It could be the way that the sectors are laid out. Also, I was just remembering, I remember taking a 5.25 inch apart and taking the disc out of it and putting it into another one. I can't remember why though. It worked. I remember it worked, but anyways, regarding basically me saying complete in case versus complete in box retro gaming terminology, retro collecting terminology. I said that I had Wind Waker complete in case, and he says that he thinks other retro collectors say CIB for complete in box when talking about having the cartridge plus the disc and manual in case. He's right. That is the terminology, but it feels weird to me to say box because box to me is cardboard and this is a plastic case.
Totally. No, I 100% agree with you for the most part. So I think every other retro person is wrong but me. I live in my own universe. It's like that Beverly Crusher Star Trek episode. Complete in box, I would consider for like Genesis games, even though that's not a box, it's a plastic case for the most part. But for TurboGrafx and PC Engine, I would say complete in case if you have the disc, the manual, and the CD case. But I would say complete in box if you have those three plus the box it came in.
Yeah, if it came in a box, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, he pretty much gives me a pass because he knows I'm not a uber retro game collector, but he's also looking out for me because he doesn't want me to be ridiculed while in a Discord chat.
That'll happen anyway.
Instead, he will ridicule me via email that I have to read on the show. He says it doesn't bother him, but we all know what I mean when I say the Retro Game Club safe space community.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, side note, he says that when collecting TurboGrafx, exactly what you said, the cardboard sleeve adds more confusion when talking about complete in box. Also, the foam insert, he says. Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't have the foam insert, it's not complete.
True.
Let's see. Regarding the question of the episode for favorite Game Boy Advance memories, a friend bought him a GBA as a gift for when he took a trip to China in 2002. It was the fuchsia colored GBA because he thought pink would be funny. It was a toxic masculinity joke for his friend, he says. But the joke was on him because he got a free GBA for that 15+ hour flight.
Nice.
Which, I wouldn't care, man. I'll take whatever color GBA. Nothing wrong with pink. First games that he got were House of the Dead Pinball and one of the Advance Wars games. There's a House of the Dead Pinball? That sounds fun.
I'm learning something too. I need to check that out.
Or there's a missing comma in this list.
Yeah.
Since he figured that those would help pass the time. Luckily for Majors, the airline had those wonderful reading lights so he could see the screen. That's valid. Those were not, the original GBA did not have a backlight. While in China, he bought one of the aftermarket GBA to TV case adapters that helped him enjoy games on a CRT. It was dual-purpose souvenir and functional device that he could use later. This was before they had the Game Boy player for the GameCube, which I did have, and that thing was great.
I looked it up. There is a House of the Dead pinball.
Excellent. I want to play that.
Me too, yeah.
Regarding Game Club games, The Destroyer from Jail. And he says, boy, what rock did you dig this up from? It looks like a Pandora's Box special of the night. He played a level thanks to Internet Archive to get a feel, and he could see why it stayed in Korea. It's like SNK's POW, but without the punches or kicks set on the mean streets of an alternate Chicago. He was constantly getting shot. Well, this is my complaint too. He was constantly getting shot while attempting to line up his shot, but he did get a chuckle with the background image, which was the Law Deal thing. I like that. And then let's see, Korea's development team definitely pulled inspiration from American 80s movies. Talking other Korean Pandora Box arcade finds, here's a few if you like the Nam 75 Neo Geo or Wild Guns from the Super Nintendo. And he's got some screenshots of these games. I want to play Spinal Breakers. I don't even know what that is. It's got Spinal Breakers, Riot, SWAT, and Pirates. Spinal Breakers. That's a great name for a game. So 2 games I got to play now. Midwest Gaming Classic is coming up soon. Maybe he'll have a chance of seeing Hugues there. And he usually hangs out with the TurboFest folks in one of the community zone areas. So anybody going to that, look for Majors there. He had more notes, but figures that is enough here for everyone to slaughter on the next game. Jesus Christ. Sorry. He had more notes, but he figures that there's enough here for everyone to slaughter on the next episode. Thanks as always for recording, even with your full life schedules.
It has been crazy lately.
Thanks for being thankful.
Yeah, thank you both for those emails. If anyone else wants to email, that's email@retrogameclub.net. Please, we love your emails, even though we butcher them. Our social question of the episode. The GBA just turned 25 years old. What memories do you have of it? So Hugh writes in saying, for him, it's always finding the new to me games in the library because the library and his backlog are so large. And this year he finally tried Doom and Super Monkey Ball ports, which are both excellent. He can't get over how good both of them turned out on that hardware. Jordan writes in saying he loved GBA, especially the SP NES edition. He remembers getting it from Toys R Us right after high school graduation. And great memories playing the wonderful Castlevania games, Golden Sun, Fire Emblem, 2 amazing Metroid games, and the most underrated Zelda game, Minish Cap.
Yep. Yeah. Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission and Zelda Minish Cap, all great games.
Just beautiful. Yeah. Starsky writes in also saying Minish Cap is a great game. He used to play a lot of Mario Golf on the Game Boy SP as well. The Link to the Past remake at Four Swords were nice. And it let him, for the first time, it let him bring those games on the go. He never got to play in Four Swords mode, though.
Four Swords was GameCube. And you could do something with the Game Boy connected to it, but I don't remember. That's the same issue with Wind Waker and being able to connect the Game Boy to play as Tingle or something. Like I remember doing it, but I couldn't tell you what that was about.
It's just a blind spot for me. Retro Gaming Dev writes in, he never had an actual GBA, but since then he played Minish Cap, and it's such a fantastic game. See, Minish Cap is like getting a lot of accolades here.
Yeah.
Inky Atari writes in, the lack of backlighting is, and then in his humble opinion, makes the Game Boy SP the greatest handheld ever made.
It is a great one.
And then I put in my own comment here that I imported the GBA when it was released. I imported it from Japan. I was instantly bored of Super Mario Advance. I was so much more into my Dreamcast and Nintendo 64. I'm pretty sure I traded it in for some music equipment or something. But playing the games on the big screen now really opened my eyes to the library. It's an amazing platform, and it might have the best artwork out of any console. I will stand by that. Just beautiful games on such a small screen. You blow them up and they look even better. The screen, as everyone knows, was small and dark because it wasn't backlit. And what a shame. Like, I think it would have just sold even better if it was backlit from the start.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I know with Metroid Fusion, part of the reason that they went with that color scheme was because it's so hard to see on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once the GBA SP came out with the backlight on it, I think people started using a little bit more normal color palettes. But I love how Metroid Fusion works. For me, what I remember most is not having one, not even knowing about it, and seeing a commercial for it where somebody's playing like a snowboarding game or something like that while they're in church with their parents, I think. I swear that's a commercial. And I was like, whoa, what is that? Like, I'm interested in that. And then I think shortly thereafter was when Fusion came out. So I was like, all right, well, I need to buy a GBA. And so I did.
Well, there's a few little Samson feedback here from, I think this is, please correct me if I'm wrong, Burr1AJ. That seemed like I read that correctly. I enjoyed it more than Mega Man games personally, though it could have used more music. And then, yeah, the music is fantastic in it, but it could have used another track
repetitive.
Or two.
Yeah.
And then also Retro Gaming Dev says he played this a few years ago and streamed it. Overall, a pretty fun game, definitely worth playing if you like platformers like Mega Man. Super expensive, though, if you want the original cart. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I think you chose from one of our listeners the next question of the episode.
Yeah, Jess O in the Discord asks, what game have you restarted multiple times with the intent of completing but never do? Or, even if it's just something you restarted multiple times and finally did. That's a good answer too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I think the next few questions of the episode come from our Discord. So that's another reason for listeners to get in there. And then also, I'm pretty sure my next Game Club pick is also from a listener's suggestion. A hint, it'll be on the Evercade.
Oh, right. Yep.
So please, again, email at retrogameclub.net or get in Discord or on any of our socials. And what are our next games again? Moon Patrol and Dark Arms.
Dark Arms.
And I think that wraps it up.
Sure does.